Storytellers, Mama is the theme. We are so happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a great Mother's Day. I definitely had a great Mother's Day. My son surprised me with a card with a puppy on the front. He knows I love puppies. I want to get a real puppy one day, but my husband won't allow it. So my son gave me a card with a puppy on it, which I thought was so nice. And we have a guest who I'm going to call up now. You can join me right here. Tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Lydia. I'm from Belfast, Northern Ireland.
And how did you wind up here with the Twisted Storytellers today?
So I am visiting Detroit from Belfast for a few months, and I am visiting a few different organizations in the city to find out more about Detroit. And when I was looking up organizations, I found Storytellers, and I thought that would be a fantastic opportunity to just hear the voice of people from this city and hear their stories and find out what it's like to grow up here, what it's like to live here, what do people get up to, really.
So from your time here, what is the impression that you have gotten from Detroiters?
Wow, that's a big question. And I find Detroiters really entrepreneurial. I find them really welcoming, super friendly, really helpful. I just find that it's just such an interesting city. There's so much happening here. There's a really strong history here. And there's just a lot happening in the present. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching what happens in the years to come as well.
Awesome. Now, you spoke about visiting different organizations. What are some other organizations in the city that you've spent time with?
So I have visited Heidelberg Project. I visited Detroit Soup as well and Build Institute. Who else have I visited? Food Lab Detroit. Oh my goodness, just so many. Yeah, Urban Consulate as well, Citizen Detroit. Just I try to take in as much as possible so that I can hear just from as many perspectives as possible, really. And yeah, people are really open and really willing to share, which is great.
Now, can you share with us about some of the work that you do in Belfast?
Yep. So I do community work in Belfast. I mainly work with young people on projects that allow them to contribute to their community. Maybe they've come from quite difficult circumstances, and it's really, just to get them on a different track in that way. So we've got storytelling projects in Belfast as well. We've got a monthly one called 10 by 9, which always takes a different theme every month. And I think that storytelling is a really effective tool in terms of helping people to think about their personal experiences. I'm really looking forward to sort of taking back some of that learning and sharing that with young people there.
Now, if you could sum up your time here, what would you say?
Just huge learning experience. It's my first time in the States, and it's been a lot to take in. It's just so big. It's such a big place, and everything feels quite full on sometimes. But it's been overall super positive. I'm looking forward to going back home and taking that learning back and applying it in my community.
And I just want to say thank you for volunteering with us. You could choose to spend your time anywhere, but that you came and spent time with the Twisted Storytellers, it means so much. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
We have another guest here, special guest. Oh, and she's got some props here. You can come on over here.
Thank you.
Hi, you can join her right on the other side. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Vicki Elmer, and I'm from Mint Artists Guild.
My name is Alexis Wright from Mint Artists Guild too.
And what brings you here to the Twisted Storytellers today?
Well, we are the featured digital artists tonight, and so we couldn't resist coming out, meeting some folks, telling them about our young artists, and inviting them to the Palmer Park Art Fair.
So when is the art fair?
The art fair is June 1st and 2nd.
June 1st and 2nd. And where will it be located?
It will be located at Palmer Park Art Fair.
Now tell us a little bit about the work that we have here.
Well, I brought a piece that was created in our summer jobs program, and the summer jobs program hires youth from Detroit, pays them to paint and create, and then a lot of the work is donated back to other nonprofits around the city. Yes.
What has been your experience as being one of the youth who gets to showcase your work?
It's really helped me develop a business sense when it comes to promoting myself and getting my art out there so I can make some money for it.
That's awesome. So it sounds like a win for everybody, for the student and for the people who receive the work. If you could sum up the entire experience, the art fair and what the project represents, what would that be?
It is giving young people a sense of confidence in their creativity and a path towards a better future.
Now, what about your creative process? What inspires you when you are creating your work?
I usually look just everything around me, around the world. There's also the influence of social media and pop culture that really influences my art as well.
Very nice. Can you hold this up here so the camera can display that work there? Look at this beautiful work.
This is another of our artists. This is Prince Matthews, and he's not here tonight, but we wanted to reflect some of the work we're going to have for sale in the group tent at Palmer Park.
Awesome. And one more time, tell us the information about the art show, when it is, and how we can get more information.
Sure. So Palmer Park Art Fair is June 1st and 2nd. Palmer Park's on Woodward Avenue near McNichols, and they can check mintartistguild.org for more details.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and joining us. Will you come back and hear more stories
Yes.
and maybe share a story?
Maybe so.
That works.
I've been invited. Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much. Camera right there. So tell us your name and where you're from.
Judith Thompson, and I'm now from Detroit. I've been here about 60 years, so I'm from Detroit.
And tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Karen Valentine Melton, and I'm from Detroit. I presently live in Southfield.
Now, you two have an interesting story. Tonight's theme is Mama, and you have a very interesting Mama story. Can you share a little bit of that with us today?
Yes. Well, this year, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, was one of the most memorable days of my life because on that day, I became acquainted with my daughter. And when I was 16 years old, I had a child. My parents sent me away, and I gave the child up for adoption. So on March 17th, my daughter Karen and I became acquainted, and we've been hanging out ever since.
Now, tell me what that experience has been like for you since that time.
It's been wonderful. We share a lot of the same interests. Both of us are very creative and artistic, so we've been going to different events together. And she's gotten a chance to meet her grandson and her granddaughter by FaceTime. I've also gotten a chance to meet my sister. And so it's been really, really amazing. All this time I've always wondered who I looked like, and and now I know. I had a wonderful life. I was raised by two wonderful parents who were also very supportive of me one day finding my mother. And so they're deceased now, but I think they're my guardian angels up in heaven, and they're looking down, and they're really, really happy that we found each other.
Now, if you can let us in a little bit on that first moment when you connect, you see each other's eyes for the very first time, what was that like?
I think we both said, I know you, I've seen you, because we have been in the same place many times, but we never thought to ask, are you adopted? And in fact, I have often wanted to ask women, are you adopted? But I don't think I would have asked Karen because I'm the tallest in my family. And look at how tall she is. So I would not have thought to ask her, are you my daughter?
What about for you?
It was amazing. I think we met at a restaurant, and when we came in, the first thing she said was, "You do look like me," and and so that was really special. I had actually seen her the day before on the Facebook page, and when my son and I pulled it up because we weren't quite sure, we had the right person yet, and when we looked on the Facebook page, and I was like, "Does that look like me?" And my son was like, Yeah, that looks just like you.
Now, with your time together, many relationships are formed from a young age on up, but you get to know each other as adult women. How has that experience been?
Well, I was a little jealous today when I heard the person talk about her mother. And, but only thing I can say is we have from now, hopefully for many years, to create memories and get to know each other. We have been talking on the phone nonstop about what has happened in our lives and getting each other acquainted with, what's gone before. So I've gone by her home where she grew up. I've taken her by my home. We have done a lot of investigating, but I do feel a sense of, I wish I had known her longer. I do feel that.
How about for you?
Same thing. She's led an really interesting life, and I think it would have been nice if we'd known each other longer. I really wish if my parents were here to actually meet her, because I think that they would really love her. Yeah.
To see the two of you is so clear that despite time, despite not knowing, what the future holds, you can see still the bond. You can still see the connection. You can still see there's a fabric there. And that, even though you didn't even know it existed, we can still see that. So that just speaks to who the two of you are. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having a chance for me to share this. When I found out that this event tonight was going to be about mothers, I automatically invited her to come to share this with me. So
we would love to have you on the stage to share a full story. Would you be interested in doing that?
we both love to talk.
Yes.
And we love to listen, so that is a good pairing. Okay. So we'll make a plan on that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
It was
thank you.
so lovely to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So lovely to meet you. Thank you. You can come on here. Oh, that just fills me up. Don't you just love it? Come on up. We have another guest here. Yeah, please do. Come on. We are on camera. It's our live stream audience looking at us. Yes, sir. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Jordan Duran Gregory, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
So is this your first time with the Twisted Storytellers?
Yes.
So you're a virgin to the show?
Yay.
So what are your thoughts so far?
I mean, I'm really inspired by this entire, this is kind of perfect because it's just Mother's Day, and my mom took me here as a birthday gift, so it's oh, this is great, and the perfect theme because I really love my mama, and it just all fit together. And hearing these people's stories about how their mothers are so impactful in their lives, it's been incredibly influential for me, and just kind of gave me a few moments to just kind of reflect on how much I love my mama and how important she is to me, and how she's been everything for me.
That's so sweet. Have you expressed that to her during the show?
Well, not yet, because I didn't want to talk during the show, but I'm gonna afterwards when I can fully express everything. But she has been, to kind of go with the theme of tonight, to describe my mama in one word, she is a voice. And she's always been able to, it's always been her voice who's been able to pull me out of some of my darkest, deepest moments, or to kind of inspire me to keep working harder, to do better, and to just challenge and push myself as a person and grow. And she's also been the biggest cheerleader in my life. I distinctly remember every single baseball game that I would have, she was right there behind home plate screaming us on and cheering us on, and she would specifically call us out and yeah, son, because she has 3 sons, so she would call us out by all of our names because she would mess up. That's what all parents do. But then she would get the right name, and then you just felt so, or at least I did, I felt so good and inspired to do well. And sometimes it worked, other times it didn't necessarily work that well. That's because stage fright and everything, but that's whatever. It's still great to have her voice just be so powerful and impactful in my life and kind of give me the courage and the strength to do what I need to do. And also, no voice is as soothing as my mother's. She says that she can give Minnie Riperton a run for her money at 7 a.m. So that's kind of like, I believe it. I've heard it. Yeah, we would like drive in the car to school every morning at like 6:30 or 7, and she would play, that the one that everybody sings, "Loving You is easy because you're beautiful," and then like high note, you have to like hit it. She would
do the ear when you hit
You have to do the ear. You have to. She would hit it, or at least I would think she would hit it. It was always the most like beautiful sound in the morning, because it would wake me up, but also to know that I'm getting just some kind of quality time with my mom, and we're both singing and having a really good time in the car. It was just so soothing. And I remember this one time, if I don't want to like drag on too long, but there was this one time there was a thunderstorm happening in the house. It was me, my mom, and my dog, and he's really small, and he's so scared of thunder. And the power went out, so he was like super scared, and there was a big thunder crackle, so she picked him up, and she started like humming What About Your Friends by TLC. And it's like, at the time, that was like my jam. And I don't know if she did that like subconsciously, like here's the mother reflex to soothe me as well, but like I just remember that moment being when she was humming it and rocking the dog back and forth. He stopped shaking. I got a little bit more settled in. I might be just exaggerating here, but I doubt it. I think the storm stopped for a little bit, honestly. And it was just like one of the most peaceful moments that I have ever experienced, and it will always like stick with me that she's had such a powerful voice for my entire life, and I'm just so fortunate to like have her in my life. Yeah, to have her. Oh my God, she's so wonderful, and I love her so much.
That reminds me, I heard a story once. There was a young woman who was in an accident, and she went into a coma, and the doctors had her mother come in because they said that was the voice that this young girl had heard since birth. So if anything could bring her out of that place, it was her mother's voice. So that's what I think about when you share your experience with your mother, how powerful that voice is. Even, like you said, it's with you at different times throughout your life. So thank you. I feel like I got to know her through you sharing, this about her. So thank you for sharing her with us.
Thanks so much for letting me come and share. I really appreciate this.
No, would you come back and see more story and maybe even tell a story on stage?
See, for sure. I would definitely love to come back and see. Tell that I have to work the nerve up.
We'll work on it. We can work on it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's a goal for the future. It seems like it would be fun.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Say hi to your mama for me. I love her.
Hi, Mom.
So,
And she's
where's
like
your mama
right
at?
there.
Hi,
Beautiful
Mom.
head wrap.
Is she talking right now?
Hi.
Mom.
God, I love that one.
Me too. I love her too. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thank you.
Hi, come on up. We are on camera. We only got a couple minutes. You watched the show so far? This is my son, Justin. You know and love this face. I'm sure you all remember him. What are your thoughts on the show so far?
Oh, I like it. I thought it was very compelling. I could not imagine the shock on my face if I came home and everything was destroyed. That really made me think though about how things my wonderful mother does for me, and it reminds me to appreciate the little things that's done, like when it's taking me to football practice or just being there to make me dinner every day.
Guys, I have to end on that note. I mean, what else can I say after that? So it's been Real Live Stream. We hope to see you next month, June 21st. The theme is Real Men. So we got a real one right here. He'll be in the building. We'll be in the building. The stories will be in the building. So we will see you then. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.